Dragon's Claim by Bookish After Dark. Chapter 1. Who I Was. My name is Elaine Voss, 28 years old, New York born and raised, and I have never once in my life waited for permission to take what I want. I'm the woman who corrects men twice my age in meetings without flinching, who can sell a rebrand to a room full of skeptical board members while wearing 4-inch heels and a smile sharp enough to cut glass. People call me ambitious. Some call me a bitch. I call it survival. I've built a decent career in marketing. Good clients, better paycheck, corner office on the 32nd floor with a view of the skyline that most people would kill for. But lately, when I stand at my window at night watching the city lights flicker, something gnaws at me, a restlessness I can't name, like my skin is suddenly too tight, like the life I've fought for isn't quite enough anymore. Maybe that's why I didn't hesitate when the headhunter called about Blackthorn Industries. Everyone knows the name. Blackthorn is the shadowy empire behind half the renewable energy breakthroughs and AI patents that quietly run the world. And everyone knows its CEO, Draven Blackthorn. Reclusive, brilliant, ruthless. Photographs of him are rare and always grainy, like the camera itself is afraid to focus. The rumors range from plausible, he hasn't been seen in daylight in years, to outright ridiculous. He sold his soul for his fortune, or he's part of some ancient bloodline, or he doesn't age. I laughed at all of them, until the day I stepped into his building. The lobby alone feels like money and menace. Black marble floors, soaring ceilings, security that watches you like they already know your secrets. The private elevator to the penthouse office requires a retinal scan. His assistant handles that part for me, and when the doors slide open, the air changes. It's warmer up here, not stuffy, deliberately warm, like someone turned the heat up 5 degrees past comfortable. The space is all dark wood and glass, city lights glittering beyond floor-to-ceiling windows. And there he is, Draven Blackthorn. He rises from behind a desk that probably costs more than my apartment. Tall doesn't cover it. 6'4", maybe 6'5", broad shoulders filling out a black suit that looks poured onto him. Black hair, just long enough to curl at the collar. Strong jaw, sharp cheekbones, and eyes. God, those eyes. They're green, but not ordinary green. Deep jade shot through with flecks of gold, and they seem to catch the low light in a way that makes them almost glow. He looks like power made flesh, and the way he studies me, like he's cataloging every breath I take, sends a shiver straight down my spine. "Miss Voss," he says, voice low and smooth, like smoke curling around velvet. "Thank you for coming." He extends his hand. I cross the room, refusing to let my heels wobble, and take it. His palm is hot, unnaturally hot. Like he's running a low fever, except there's no flush in his face, no sign of illness. Just heat pouring off him. And for a split second, as his cuff shifts, I swear I see something dark and iridescent ripple along the skin of his wrist. Like scales. I blink. It's gone. Just a trick of the light. Or exhaustion. I've been pulling 80-hour weeks. Clearly my brain is short-circuiting. I pull my hand back a little too quickly and flash my best professional smile. "Mr. Blackthorn, pleasure's mine." He gestures to the leather chair opposite his desk. I sit. He doesn't. He leans against the edge of the desk instead, arms loosely crossed, watching me with that unblinking intensity. The interview is unlike any I've ever had. He doesn't ask about my resume. He already knows it. He doesn't ask why I want the job. He already knows I need the challenge. Instead, he asks strange things. "How do you handle secrets, Elaine?" The way he says my name, Elaine, feels intimate, possessive. like he's tasting it. I keep them, I answer. Discretion is part of the package. A faint curve touches his mouth. Not quite a smile. And fire. Do you fear it? I laugh softly. I've worked with enough egos to have developed immunity. His eyes flicker, literally flicker, with something that might be amusement or approval. We talk strategy, branding, vision. I pitch ideas off the cuff, sharp and bold, and I see the interest spark in his expression. For 45 minutes we spar verbally and I hold my own, maybe more than hold my own. Then he stands, signaling the end. I want you for the position, he says simply. Marketing director. Report directly to me. The compensation package will be generous. I arch a brow. How generous? He names a number that makes my heart stutter, then adds equity, then a signing bonus that could buy a brownstone outright. I should be thrilled. I am thrilled. But there's a catch. There's always a catch. There's a secondary project, he continues, voice dropping even lower. Highly confidential. It will require late nights, weekends away, absolute loyalty. His gaze pins me in place. Weekends where? I ask. My private estate upstate. You'll have full access. I swallow. The heat in the room feels heavier now. And the nature of this project? That will be revealed in time. He steps closer, close enough that I have to tip my head back to hold his stare. Close enough that I smell him, cedar and smoke, and something wild like a forest after lightning. If you accept? My pulse is racing. I tell myself it's the money, the title, the career leap. I'm a terrible liar. I stand, smoothing my skirt. I'll need to think about it. Of course. He moves to the hidden bar, pours 2 fingers of something amber into a crystal glass, and offers it to me. Our fingers brush as I take it. Another jolt of that impossible heat. I sip. It burns beautifully. He watches my throat as I swallow. Come back tomorrow night, he says quietly. 8 o'clock. We'll discuss the details of the private arrangement. The word private lingers in the air like a promise or a threat. I set the glass down, steady despite the way my knees want to wobble. I'll consider it. His eyes gleam. I'll be waiting, Elaine. I walk to the elevator on legs that feel strangely unsteady. The doors close, and only then do I let out the breath I've been holding. What the hell just happened? I touch my hand, the one he shook, and it's still warm. Too warm. And for the rest of the night, no matter how many times I blink, I keep seeing that fleeting shimmer on his skin. Scales. I laugh out loud in my empty apartment. I'm losing my mind. Or maybe, just maybe, I'm finally finding something worth going insane for. Tomorrow night can't come soon enough. Chapter 2. After Hours and the Estate. I went back the next night, of course I did. 8 o'clock on the dot, same private elevator, same retinal scan from his silent assistant. This time I'm wearing a black wrap dress that hugs every curve I've earned in the gym, heels sharp enough to stab egos, hair down because I caught the way his gaze lingered on it yesterday. The door's open, and he's waiting. No desk between us tonight. He's standing at the windows, city sprawling glittering below like scattered jewels. The room is warmer than I remember, almost sultry, and the low lighting makes shadows cling to the hard lines of his shoulders. Elaine. Just my name again, but it hits lower this time, a slow roll of heat through my stomach. Mr. Blackthorn. Draven, he corrects, turning. If we're going to be spending late nights together, we can drop the formalities. He pours 2 glasses of something dark and expensive without asking if I want one. I take it anyway. Our fingers brush, deliberately this time, I think, and that impossible warmth floods my skin again. We talk work at first. Spreadsheets and mock-ups on his massive screen, branding strategies for the mysterious new energy division he's launching. I'm good at this part. Quick, confident, throwing ideas that make his eyes sharpen with genuine interest. But every time he moves closer to point at something, I'm distracted by the details I swear weren't there yesterday. The way the low light catches along the edge of his throat, revealing a faint shimmer, like oil on water. Or scales. I catch it once, twice. Blink, and it's gone. By the third time, I'm starting to get annoyed with myself. Get a grip, Elaine. You're not hallucinating dragon skin on a billionaire CEO. You're just horny and sleep-deprived. But the heat rolling off him isn't imagination. Neither is the scent. Cedar and smoke and something wild that makes me want to lean in and breathe deeper. The nights blur together after that. Late meetings become a ritual. 10, 11, midnight. Sometimes later. The rest of the building empties out and it's just us in that warm, shadowed office. He never seems to tire. I do, but I don't complain. Because every time I start to flag, he'll lean over my shoulder to look at the screen, one hand braced on the back of my chair, and suddenly, I'm wide awake again, hyper-aware of how close his mouth is to my ear. I keep catching glimpses, a flash of elongated pupil when he thinks I'm not looking, a hint of sharp canine when he smiles. Rare, but devastating. The way his skin seems to ripple once, just once, along his forearm when he's frustrated on a call. Every time I tell myself it's nothing. Lighting. Exhaustion. My overactive imagination finally cracking under deadline pressure. Then comes the invitation. We're wrapping up at 1 a.m, city quiet below us. I'm gathering my notes when he says, casual as anything, I'd like you to spend the weekend at my estate upstate. We'll have privacy to finalize the campaign without interruptions. I pause, pen still in hand. The whole weekend? He meets my eyes, steady. Yes, full access to everything you'll need, including me. The word including hangs heavy between us. I should ask a dozen questions. Boundaries, sleeping arrangements. Why the hell a rebranding project needs an entire weekend away? Instead, I hear myself say, when? Tomorrow evening, my driver will collect you. And just like that, I'm packing an overnight bag and pretending I'm not wondering what kind of bed a man like Draven Blackthorn sleeps in. The drive north is 2 hours through darkening forests. The estate appears like something out of a dark fairy tale. Black stone walls, towers, windows glowing amber against the night. It's more fortress than house, perched on cliffs with the Hudson raging far below. Inside smells like wood smoke and old money. Staff appear and vanish like ghosts. Draven meets me in the massive foyer himself, sleeves rolled up, looking unfairly perfect. Your rooms are upstairs, he says, leading me through halls lined with art that probably belongs in museums. But first, come see something. He takes me down a stone staircase hidden behind a tapestry. The air grows warmer, richer. At the bottom is a vaulted chamber lit by torches, actual torches, and piled high with gold. Coins, bars, jewels spilling from ancient chests. Weapons that look medieval but gleam like new. It's a dragon's horde straight out of legend. I stop dead. What the hell is this? He watches me, expression unreadable. Family heirlooms. I step closer, drawn despite myself. My fingers trail over a ruby the size of my fist. You could buy countries with this. Some of it is older than countries. I turn to him and freeze. He's standing too close, heat pouring off him in waves. One hand lifts. slow enough that I could move away. I don't. His fingertips brush my jaw, then slide down the column of my throat. His skin is burning. Curious women get devoured, Elaine, he murmurs, voice rougher than I've ever heard it. My breath catches. Maybe I'm not afraid of being devoured. The sound he makes, low, almost a growl, sends liquid heat straight between my thighs. He kisses me then. No hesitation, no gentle warm-up, just hunger. His mouth claims mine like he's been starving for it, tongue stroking deep, tasting me with a desperation that steals my breath. I fist my hands in his shirt and kiss him back just as hard. He tastes like smoke, and cinnamon, and something ancient. When he finally pulls away, we're both breathing hard. His eyes are glowing, actually glowing, molten gold with vertical slits for pupils. I stare, heart hammering. He waits, body tense, like he's bracing for me to run. I reach up and touch the edge of his jaw, where the skin has taken on that faint iridescent shimmer again. This time, I don't blink it away. Show me, I whisper. And for the first time, I see the real him begin to surface. Chapter 3, The Storm and the Revelation. The weekend stretches ahead of us like a secret we're both pretending isn't already unraveling. Days are spent in a cavernous study overlooking the cliffs. Whiteboards, laptops, endless coffee that somehow never goes cold. Draven is brilliant in a way that should be illegal, seeing angles in the campaign I hadn't even considered, pushing me harder than any client ever has. I give it back just as sharp, and every time I land a point, he looks at me like I'm something rare and worth keeping. Nights are different. We eat in a dining hall lit by a massive fireplace. The fire never seems to need tending, yet it roars constantly. After dinner, we move to the library. Leather-bound books in languages I don't recognize, shelves that climb 3 stories. He pours brandy older than most countries. We talk about everything except what's actually happening between us. The almost kisses. The way his hand lingers at the small of my back when he guides me through a doorway. The way I catch myself leaning into that impossible heat of his like a cat seeking sun. I keep waiting for him to make a move. He doesn't. Instead, he watches me with those glowing ember eyes, pupils occasionally narrowing to vertical slits when he thinks I'm not looking. I still tell myself it's a trick of the firelight. Saturday night, the weather turns. Clouds roll in over the Hudson like bruises, thick and fast. Thunder growls in the distance, getting closer. By midnight, the storm is directly overhead. Wind screaming around the stone walls, rain lashing the windows in sheets. Power flickers once, twice, then dies completely. The estate plunges into darkness lit only by lightning and the dying fire in the great hall. I'm in the library when it happens, curled on a massive leather sofa with a stack of research notes. Draven had excused himself an hour earlier. Something about checking the generator. I haven't seen him since. Another crack of lightning floods the room white, and I catch movement on the balcony beyond the French doors. He's out there, shirtless. Rain pounding down on him, yet steam rises from his skin in visible curls. His head is tilted back, eyes closed, like he's drinking the storm. Then the next lightning strike hits, and everything stops. Massive wings unfurl from his back, black, membranous, edged in obsidian scales that catch the electric light like oil on water. They spread wide, easily 15 feet across, before folding forward slightly against the wind. His skin ripples, and scales cascade over his shoulders, down his chest, along powerful arms that suddenly look capable of crushing stone. A long, sinuous tail lashes once against the balcony railing, sending sparks where it strikes. He's a dragon, not a man wearing a costume, not a hallucination, A real, living dragon standing on two legs, rain hissing into vapor wherever it touches him. My heart slams against my ribs so hard I can't breathe. This isn't possible. None of this is possible. I must be dreaming. Or losing my mind completely. Maybe I've been drugged. Maybe. Another flash of lightning, and his head snaps toward the doors. Toward me. His eyes are fully reptilian now, glowing molten gold, pupils narrow slits. Nostrils flare as he scents the air. He sees me watching. For a long moment we just stare at each other through the glass, rain drumming, thunder rolling. I should run, scream, lock the doors. Something. Instead, I stand up slowly, notes fluttering to the floor forgotten, and walk to the French doors. My hand trembles on the handle, but I open them anyway. Wind and rain blast in, soaking me instantly. I step out onto the balcony. The cold shock of the storm disappears the moment I'm within a few feet of him. Heat pours off his body in waves, turning the rain to mist before it can touch me. Up close, he's even more overwhelming. Scales gleam wet and perfect across his chest and arms, smooth, warm, alive under the storm's fury. His wings are half furled now, arching protectively. That tail curls once, restlessly. Elaine. My name leaves his mouth on a growl that's half prayer, half warning. It vibrates through my bones, deep and ancient and desperate. I should be terrified. I'm not. I lift my hand, slowly, so he can pull away if he wants, and press my palm flat against the center of his chest. The scales are warm silk over steel. His heart thunders beneath them, fast and strong. He shudders at the contact, wings twitching, a low rumble starting deep in his chest. Real. All of this is real, and I've never wanted anything more in my life. Rain steams off both of us now. I step closer until I'm pressed against the furnace heat of him, until I can feel the sharp points of claws hovering at my hips without quite touching. His head lowers, nostrils flaring again as he breathes me in. Those glowing eyes search mine, for fear, for rejection. I don't know. I slide both hands up over his scaled shoulders, feeling the power coiled there, and whisper the only thing that matters. Show me all of you. The growl that answers is pure possession. His wings curl forward, enveloping us both in a cocoon of warmth and shadow as the storm rages on, forgotten. Chapter 4. First Surrender. We don't make it far. The balcony doors are still open behind us. Rain blowing in across the stone floor, but neither of us cares. His mouth crashes back onto mine the second I say those words. Show me all of you. And the kiss is no longer human. It's claiming, devouring. His hands, larger now, fingers tipped with black claws, grip my waist and lift me like I weigh nothing. My back meets the nearest wall, cold stone against wet fabric, and the contrast with the furnace heat of his body makes me gasp into his mouth. He growls at the sound, low and rolling, a vibration I feel everywhere we touch. I tear at his shirt, what's left of it, and it shreds easily under my fingers. More scales meet my palms, smooth, warm, gliding over the hard planes of his chest and abdomen like living obsidian armor. They're flawless, catching stray flashes of lightning and rainbow flecks. Beautiful, terrifying, perfect. My dress doesn't survive his claws. One careful slice down the front and it falls away, leaving me in lace that might as well be nothing. Cool air kisses my skin for only a second before his wings curve forward, wrapping us in a private cocoon of heat and shadow. Rain hisses into steam against the membrane. He pulls back just enough to look at me, eyes pure molten gold, pupils slitted, fangs slightly extended. A thin curl of smoke escapes his nostrils as he breathes me in. Elaine. he says again, voice rougher, deeper, layered with something ancient. Tell me to stop. I slide my hands up over the scales on his shoulders, feeling the power coiled there, and lock my legs around his waist. Don't you dare. The growl that tears out of him is pure triumph. We stumble, half flying, half falling, through the nearest doorway and into his bedroom. I get a blurred impression of dark wood, massive bed, fireplace roaring though no one fed it. Then I'm on that bed, silk sheets cool against my back, and he's over me. He shifts more, deliberately, letting me see. Scales glide over his chest and abs like living armor. A powerful tail emerges, long, sinuous, tipped with a spade, coiling possessively around my calf and sliding higher, anchoring me exactly where he wants. His wings stay half spread, arching above us like a canopy. Claws shred what's left of my lace without ever breaking skin. Everywhere he touches brands me with heat. His mouth traces fire down my throat, tongue hot and slightly rougher than human. I gasp with a cry that echoes off stone walls. His tail tightens around my thigh in response. He pauses there, forehead against mine, breathing smoke and restraint. Tell me yes, he rasps. I need to hear it. Yes, I breathe. God, yes. Then more words I don't know. Old, rolling, beautiful. They vibrate against my skin like a second heartbeat, sinking into muscle and bone. The connection flares brighter with every moment, heat and shadow swirling until the world narrows to just us. We lose ourselves in the connection, the ancient words he whispers against my skin binding us deeper, the fire surging through the bond like a living promise. Time dissolves into gold and shadow. After, he gathers me close. Scales still cover him, warm and smooth. Wings drape over us like the softest blanket. His tail stays looped loosely around my thigh, as if even now he can't bear to let go completely. I trace lazy patterns over the scales on his chest, listening to the deep, contented rumble that starts somewhere inside him and vibrates through me. The storm has quieted to a steady rain. Firelight dances across his wings. And as I drift toward sleep, wrapped in smoke and warmth and monster, one thought circles, soft and inevitable and true. I could love a monster. I think I already do. Chapter 5: Cold Scales and the Rival. I wake alone. Sunlight filters through heavy curtains, painting the room in soft gold. The bed is enormous, sheets tangled, still warm where he was. But Draven is gone. For a moment I just lie there, body deliciously sore in ways I've never known, skin tingling with the memory of scales and wings and that deep, endless heat. I reach out instinctively. The side where he curled around me is cooling fast. The rumble in his chest is silent now. I sit up, pulling the sheet around me, and spot a note on the pillow in bold, slanted handwriting. Generator needed attention. Back soon. D. Simple, practical, cold. I stare at it longer than I should. Last night he couldn't stop touching me. Couldn't stop growling my name like it was the only word he knew. This morning he's gone. I tell myself it's nothing. He's a CEO. Estates don't run themselves. Generators don't fix themselves. But the warmth in my chest cools anyway. I shower in a bathroom bigger than my apartment, trying to wash away the sudden unease. When I come out, there's a breakfast tray waiting. Fresh coffee, pastries, fruit arranged like it's from a magazine. No Draven. By midday, I'm restless. I throw myself into work in the study, refining the campaign, but every slide I open reminds me of his hand on the back of my chair, his breath against my ear. He doesn't appear for lunch. By late afternoon, the sky has turned iron gray again, wind rattling the windows. I'm pacing the library when I hear voices in the hall, his low rumble and a woman's laugh like breaking glass. I step out. She's breathtaking. Tall, willowy, skin like moonlight on snow. Silver white hair cascades down her back. Eyes an icy violet. She's wearing a coat that probably costs more than my yearly salary, and when she turns, I catch the faint shimmer of scales along her throat. Pale silver, deliberate, not hidden at all. Another dragon. She looks at me like I'm an amusing insect. Draven stands beside her, expression unreadable. Human again, perfectly human. No trace of wings or tail or glowing eyes. Elaine, he says, voice neutral. This is Serafina Voss, an old associate? Voss. Same last name as mine. Coincidence, probably. Or not. Serafina's smile is sharp enough to cut. So this is the little human keeping you entertained. The word human lands like a slap. I lift my chin. And you are? Someone who has known Draven for centuries, she says, stepping closer. Her scent is frost and winter roses, nothing like his smoke and cedar. Someone he was promised to, long before he started playing with fragile pets. Promised. The word slices deeper than it should. I look at Draven. He doesn't correct her. Doesn't deny it. Just watches me with that same neutral mask. Something inside me cracks. Excuse me, I say, voice steady only because I've had years of practice faking it. I have work to finish. I turn and walk away before either of them can see my hands shake. Back in the guest wing, I start packing. Not dramatically. I'm not storming out into the wilderness. But I'm done. I zip my suitcase, call his driver myself, arrange to be taken back to the city tonight. I'm folding the last sweater when the door opens without a knock. Draven fills the frame. Human still. Controlled. But there's smoke curling faintly from his nostrils and his eyes are glowing again. What are you doing? He asks quietly. Leaving. I don't look at him. Clearly, I'm in the way of your reunion. Serafina is nothing. That's not what she said. And you didn't disagree. He steps inside, closing the door with deliberate care. It was an arrangement made centuries ago. Political. I ended it long before I met you. I laugh, short and bitter. You could have mentioned that before you fucked me like the world was ending. His control fractures. The shift explodes through him all at once. Scales flood over his skin in a wave of obsidian. Wings burst out, knocking a lamp to the floor in a crash of porcelain. Tail lashes hard enough to crack the wooden bedpost. Smoke pours from his mouth as he stalks toward me. The room is suddenly too small for all that raw power. You think you can leave me? His voice is layered now, human and dragon together, a growl that shakes the windows. After last night? After I let you touch what no one else has in centuries? I back up until my shoulders hit the wall. Not afraid. Angry. Hurt. Aroused, damn it. I think, I say, voice shaking only a little, that if I'm just entertainment, I deserve better. He's on me in a heartbeat. One clawed hand slams against the wall beside my head. The other grips my waist, lifting me effortlessly until we're eye to glowing eye. His wings arch wide, casting us in shadow. Tail coils around my thigh, higher, possessive. You are not entertainment, he snarls. You are mine. The word mine reverberates through me like a claim branded on bone. And God help me, I believe him. Chapter 6. Marked. His mouth is on mine before I can draw breath. It's not a kiss. It's a claiming. Fangs graze my lower lip, sharp enough to warn, careful enough not to break skin. His tongue strokes against mine, hot and possessive, tasting of smoke and the storm still lingering outside. I should push him away. I should demand answers. Instead, my hands fist in the front of his shirt and pull him closer. He growls approval against my mouth, wings flaring wide, tail tightening around my thigh until I'm pinned completely between stone wall and dragon. One clawed hand slides up under my sweater, shredding fabric like tissue. Cool air hits my skin for only a heartbeat before his palm presses against me, heat searing through every inch. I arch into him with a moan I can't hold back. "You think you can leave?" He snarls between kisses, voice layered with that deep draconic rumble. "You think I would let you?" He growls. "Not letting you." He punctuates each word with a shift of his hips, pressing the hard length of him against me until my head falls back against the wall. I manage one coherent word, then prove it. The sound he makes is pure predator. He spins me, presses me face first to the cold glass of the window overlooking the dark forest. My palms flatten against the pane. Behind me, fabric tears. My jeans, my lace, gone in seconds. His tail coils around my waist now, lifting me slightly onto my toes, holding me exactly where he wants. The bond flares brighter with every moment, heat and shadow swirling until the world narrows to just us. We lose ourselves in the connection, the ancient words he whispers against my skin binding us deeper, the fire surging through the bond like a living promise. "Say it," he growls against my ear, fangs scraping the shell. "Say you're mine." I push back against him, desperate. "I'm yours." He doesn't stop moving, doesn't stop whispering. Those ancient words again, murmured like a spell, like a vow. We connect deeper together. Only his tail and wings keep me from flying apart entirely. Time dissolves into gold and shadow. At the peak of the bond's intensity, he lowers his mouth to the curve of my shoulder. Fangs pierce. Just enough. A sharp, bright pain that instantly melts into warmth. Gold light flares under my skin where he bites. The mate bond ignites. The golden mark pulses warm on my shoulder. The connection surges through me, deeper than anything before. I call his name, nails digging into the scales along his back. He roars, raw, draconic, triumphant, as the bond seals, permanent and unbreakable. When the intensity finally eases, he doesn't let me go. Wings stay wrapped around us. Tail stays coiled. He licks the mark tenderly, reverently, smoke curling from his lips. "You're mine now," he whispers against my skin, voice softer but no less possessive. "Forever." I bury my face in his neck, breathing in smoke and cedar and home. And for the first time since I walked into his tower, the restlessness inside me is completely, perfectly quiet. But forever, apparently, comes with complications. Because hours later, when we're tangled in what's left of the bedsheets, wings draped over me like the world's most luxurious blanket, the estate's alarms begin to scream. And through the shattered window, I see flashlights cutting through the trees. Too many, too organized. Hunters. They've found us. Chapter 7. Bound in Fire. The alarms are deafening. Red lights strobe through the halls as Draven's security system screams warnings. He's on his feet in an instant, wings snapping wide, scales flooding over his body in a ripple of obsidian fury. "Stay here," he snarls, voice fully draconic now, layered and terrifying. Not a chance. I'm already pulling on clothes, his shirt because mine are shredded, and following him to the shattered window. Below, in the tree line, a dozen figures in black tactical gear move with military precision. They carry weapons that glow with sickly green light. nets weighted with the same substance, tranquilizer rifles loaded with darts big enough to drop an elephant, dragon hunters, modern ones, high-tech, organized, and they know exactly what he is. Draven's tail lashes, cracking stone. Smoke pours from his nostrils in thick curls. They tracked Seraphina, he growls. She led them here. They know a human mate weakens me. I touch the golden mark on my shoulder, still warm, pulsing like a second heartbeat. Then let's show them how wrong they are. His eyes meet mine, glowing molten. Something fierce and proud flashes there. He shifts fully. The room can't contain him. Stone cracks as his body expands. Massive obsidian dragon, wings spanning wall to wall, tail shattering furniture. He crashes through the balcony doors in an explosion of glass and wood, launching into the storm-lit sky with a roar that shakes the cliffs. I run to the balcony, heart in my throat. He's magnificent. Fire pours from his jaws in controlled bursts, lighting the forest without burning it. Wings beat thunder. He dives, scattering the hunters like toys. But there are too many. A net launches, green glowing chains, and wraps one wing. He roars in pain as it sears like acid. A spear follows, tipped with the same poison, sinking deep into his chest. He falters mid-air, crashing into the trees with a sound like mountains breaking. No, I'm running before I think. Downstairs, through halls, out into the rain-slick night. The hunters are closing in. I grab an ancient sword from the vault wall as I pass. Ridiculous, maybe, but I'm not going down without a fight. I burst into the clearing where he fell. He's shifted back to human form. Smaller target, maybe, or the poison forces it. Blood pours from the wound in his chest, black in the lightning flashes. Wings gone, scales fading. The hunters circle. One raises a rifle toward me. Draven staggers to his feet between us, still towering, still deadly, even dying. Touch her, he rasps, smoke curling from his lips, and I burn the world down with my last breath. The hunter hesitates. I drop the sword and run to Draven instead. Press both hands to the wound. The poison is cold, unnatural cold, spreading through his veins like ice. His eyes find mine, gold fading to dull green. There's one way, he whispers. The final ritual, blood and fire, binds us completely, heals me, but you become immortal, bound to me forever. No going back. I don't even hesitate. Do it. He pulls me close with the last of his strength. Fangs extend. He bites his own wrist, then presses the bleeding wound to my lips. Drink. Copper and smoke and power flood my tongue. Then he slices my palm with one careful claw, presses it to his mouth, and drinks. Fire ignites between us. Real fire, gold and black, dancing harmlessly over our skin. He shifts again, partially this time. Wings burst out. Tail coils around us both. Scales cascade over him and begin to shimmer across my skin too. Temporary, ritual only. The pleasure hits like a tidal wave. He lifts me, wings beating hard. We rise above the estate, above the hunters who stare up in stunned silence as fire whirls around us in a perfect circle. In midair, suspended in storm and flame, he claims me completely. Slow, reverent, deep. Every part is a vow, every gasp a promise. His tail wraps my waist. Wings enfold us. Scales glide against my skin as they form and fade on me in waves. He murmurs those same ancient words against my throat, over and over, as the bond snaps fully into place, heart to heart, soul to soul. The connection is endless, shattering, shared. I feel his healing. Poison burning away in dragon fire, wound closing, strength flooding back. We rise higher, fire spinning, rain turning to steam for miles. When we finally land, soft as feathers, the fire dies to embers. I'm glowing faintly gold, just like the mark on my shoulder. Power hums under my skin, dragon fire in human veins. I flex my fingers and feel claws prick just beneath the surface, ready to extend. My vision sharpens. I can see every raindrop still clinging to the leaves outside. I smell the hunter's fierce sweat lingering in the wind. Draven stands beside me, fully healed, scales gleaming obsidian in the firelight. His wings fold slowly against his back. He watches me with awe and fierce pride. I step to the broken window and look out over the dark forest where the survivors fled. They hurt him. They thought they could take what's mine. A slow, sharp smile curves my lips. Heat coils in my chest. My own now, not borrowed. Let them run. Let them regroup. Call reinforcements. Whisper about the dragon who finally took a mate. I will find them. I will burn their weapons to slag. I will tear through their ranks with claws and fire until nothing remains but ash and the echo of their screams. And when it's over, I'll return to my dragon covered in their blood, and he'll claim me all over again. My name is Elaine Voss. I used to be human. Now I am his mate. And anyone who threatens Draven Blackthorn will learn exactly what that means. Come for us if you dare. We are ready.